first one is strategic risk. So this strategic risk is a kind of risk one embark upon in the course of making future investments, because everything we do in life is all about risk. For one to go to bed and close his eyes or her eyes and sleep is risk, because many people have done that without waking up in the morning. Some passed on in the process of sleeping. So it is a risk. But when we talk of strategic risk, we are talking of that risk an individual embark upon in the course of making investments. That investment you are making, anything can happen along the line. A good example is when I was trying to use chloroquine to cite as an example. Professor Mrs. Dora Konyere banned the use of chloroquine in treating malaria when she was DG of NAFDAC. But as a result of this COVID-19 outbreak, some medical professionals are saying that the use of chloroquine is proving effective in the treatment of COVID-19. Now, as a pharmacist, you may decide to take a risk to import more chloroquine into your pharmaceutical outfit. But it is a strategic risk, because you may import it, you are not sure whether people will buy it or not. It is a risk. And by so doing, if people buy it, then to your own advantage. If they don't buy it, it is a loss on your own part as a business owner. So the idea of importing chloroquine at this point in time is a kind of strategic risk. You are doing that strategically in order to make money. And it can also work the other way around. You lose out. Is that risk you embark upon in the course of allocating resources to your business? If you allocate resources in a poor form, that is poor allocation of resources, automatically it's going to change your interest rate. It's going to affect your tax policy. It will also increase or decrease the prices of commodity. Or it can equally encourage fluctuations in the value of currency. So whenever you are apportioning or allocating resources in your business, you are taking a risk, because if you mismanage that resources or you allocate it in such a way that is not favorable, it's going to result to losses. Number 3 is operational risk. We are looking at those risks as a business concern you embark upon in the course of production. Most people are in production of and manufacturing of goods and services in their outfit. In the course of that, engaging in that production, you find out that there are some production errors. Substandard raw materials are encountered. At times, technology may be malfunctioning. And all these things may result to risk. And this kind of risk, that is what we term as operational risk. Risk you embark upon in the course of production. Number 4, legal risk. We cannot run away from litigation, no matter how careful you are as a business concern. No matter how careful you are, you can never run away from litigation. Litigation will come, but what you can do as a business owner is to minimize the extent such litigation will arise. And if possible, you have out-of-court settlement in order not to expose your business into unnecessary risk and court cases. So this legal risk occurs when litigation comes up. And in the process of this litigation coming up, it is something that you cannot run away easily. You have to face it as it comes. If possible, you settle out of court. If it's not possible, you continue with the court case. So that is what we see as legal risk. And in most cases, you engage in this legal risk in the course of doing your business. Mr. A may supply you raw materials. And if the raw materials affect your production, it's a legal risk. Your customers can sue you, and you can also sue the supplier that supplied you the fake and adulterated raw materials. Number 5, we have other risks. These other risks are very commonly associated with forces or force measures or events beyond the control of the organization. It can arise as a result of weather disaster, floods, earthquakes, and war or other hostilities. It's just like the last time, I think sometimes in 2013 or so, we had flood in this country. Flood affected every aspect of human life as far as agricultural products are concerned. Look at the unrest going on in the northeast, in Sambisa Forest, as a result of Boko Haram insurgents. It is a kind of other risk, because as a business owner, you never envisage it, you never plan for it, and you were not prepared for it. It's a kind of other risk. So we also have quantifying risks. By quantifying risk, we are looking at those risks we have identified and appropriate risk category that may impact a certain decision. We have identified them as risk. We have quantified them, we have measured them. We are now looking out for measures to ameliorate the risk aspect of it. So in other words, management will ascertain the cost incurred if a risky outcome were to happen. Because in this case now, we have seen it as a risk. So we have to quantify it, quantifying it, measuring it, to know how much the management is likely to incur. We also have management risk. By management risk, we are looking at the ability of the So sorry for the break in transmission. We continue. So we stopped at the definition of insurance. And I told you that insurance has to do with protection against loss, for which you pay a certain sum periodically to the insurance company anyway, in exchange for a guarantee that you will be compensated under stipulated conditions for any specified loss by fire, accident, death, as the case may be. All these are known as insurance. And like we said earlier on at the beginning of this class, that uncertainty and the risk, these are the two elements that will propel or make a business owner to look for insurance, to go for insurance policy or to go for insurance cover, because you are not sure of what will happen tomorrow. Instead of you to just be on your own and be losing out outrightly, it is good for a business concern to embark or take insurance policy or insurance cover, so that if the unforeseen happens, the insurance company will be there to come to your aid. Be it an importer, be it in industry, those that are into production of goods and so sorry, we continue from where we stopped. So let's look at some of these insurance policies that organizations can embark upon. Number one, workers' compensation. Workers' compensation covers medical rehabilitation costs and lost wages for employees that sustain injury in the course of doing the job. It is required by law that workers' compensation insurance consists of two components with a third-party optional element. So invariably, it is very, very necessary for every organization to take up this workers' compensation policy so that if anything happens to the employee in the course of doing his job, the insurance company will not just leave them like that. They will come to their aid. Because in most cases, injuries can occur in the course of doing the job, which may result to a permanent injury or even the death of the employee. So if this workers' compensation is being taken up by the organization, so the insurance company will be providing certain amount of money within that period that employee is out of job in order to alleviate his or her sufferings. Number two, we have general liability. By this general liability, we are looking at the comprehensive general liability coverage. And this general liability coverage helps organizations in terms of their premises as well as exposure related to its product. In most cases, like I told you, you will see the general or the entire industry Sorry for the break in transmission. So we move ahead. Like I said, every vehicle in Nigeria must have at least third-party insurance. We also have property and casualty coverage. Property and casualty coverage, when you take this cover, it means that your property is covered under this coverage. If anything happens, the insurance company will also come to your aid. We also have number 5, which has to do with umbrella coverage. This umbrella coverage takes care of risk that the 4 coverages we mentioned above cannot ordinarily cover, cannot ordinarily take care of. So umbrella coverage, in those days during the electioneering campaign, you will hear PDP saying that their umbrella is big enough to accommodate everybody. So you find out that umbrella coverage, as the name implies, simply means that it is a very big coverage that automatically that will cover some other risk, which the initial 4 we made mention of cannot cover. So umbrella, when you take this umbrella coverage, it covers you against any other one that the first 4 we made mention of could not take care of. So number 6, we also have business interruption coverage. Under this business interruption coverage, as a businessman, as a company owner, you don't know what will happen tomorrow. Your business can be disrupted as a result of a hurricane, as a result of earthquake.
All right, you can go.
Okay, so thank you. Sorry for the loss of network. Please take your assignment. Take your assignment before I continue. Following the outbreak of COVID-19, discuss the importance of insurance in Nigeria economy. Following the outbreak of COVID-19, discuss the importance of insurance in Nigeria economy. Because as a result of this outbreak of this pandemic, you find out that a good number of organizations will start afresh. They will lose money. Some of them will even wind up. So those that have taken up insurance policy, automatically, they don't have much problem. So following the outbreak of COVID-19, discuss the importance of insurance in Nigeria economy. Please don't submit this assignment to my Yahoo mail. Submit to valekechukwu20@gmail.com. valekechukwu20@gmail.com. And please, write your names in full. State your sentence. So let's continue. So
Dr. Techuku, please unmute yourself.
So, have taken up this, it helps you to remove fear or removal of uncertainty. When you have taken up insurance policy, that business which you would have done ordinarily with fear, you will go ahead and do the business without being afraid of anything any longer. But that does not mean that you will be taking unnecessary risk, because if you take unnecessary risk, the insurance company will stay away from you. Because you have taken insurance cover does not mean that you will now expose them to unnecessary risk. They themselves are also running away from risk. Number two, stimulant of business enterprises. When you take up insurance policy, that insurance policy automatically will stimulate other businesses, because you are doing one business at one point. Because you have taken insurance policy, it will also spur other businesses. Look at the premium you are paying to the insurance company because of taking up that policy. The insurance company will invest that money in another place. In most cases, they invest it in estate. They can equally sponsor and finance businessmen who are importing goods and services. They can also lend the money to businessmen. So when you take up insurance policy, it is stimulating other businesses within the economy. Number three, promotion of service. Most insurance companies today, like ICO Insurance Company, they are now moving from street to street, shop to shop, market to market, collecting deposits from their customers. Is a way of service as well. When you take the policy and you are paying your premium as a rent due, it is a way of saving money for future use. Number four, correct distribution of cost. When you take insurance policy, it will also help you to distribute cost, allocate cost in the cost of production of goods and services. We also have source of credit. Number five, when you take insurance policy, it is also a source of credit to business enterprises, because all these business organizations can go to them and borrow money and do business. Number six, reduction of the chances of loss. When you take up insurance policy, automatically it is going to help you to run away from loss that you will incur in the course of doing the business. Number seven, solution of social problems. Because when you take insurance policy, it is a device of solving complex social problems. Example, compensation is available to victims of industrial injuries. Because all these industrial injuries, in most cases, it can equally send a company down. It can equally make the company to go under. But if you have insurance cover, insurance company will always come to your aid so that the company will remain afloat. Number 8, productive utilization of funds. As an insurance company, they also help you to remove risk, and I even advise you on how to go along with your business and minimize risk where necessary. Number 9, insurance is an investment. When you take up a life policy, for instance, if anything happens to you along the line, the insurance company will take care of your family. Even those that are schooling, they will pay their school fees depending on the kind of policy you have subscribed. Number 10, promotion of international trade. When you take up insurance policy, it will also increase the growth of international trade. The growth in the sense that before you do any business with maybe as a banker, you are engaging in a letter of credit. Before the international bank will allow the producer to ship the goods to Nigeria, they must make sure that such products are insured. If it's not insured, they will not risk it, because they know that when they move when they move the ship, ask their ship to move, and after loading those products, anything can happen, since the ship will stay up to 3-4 months in the high sea. Number 11, removing fear. It helps in removing fear. You do your business in a normal way without entertaining fear. Number 12, it is a favorable allocation of factors of production. By factors of production, I'm referring to land, labor, capital, and entrepreneur. So you find out that it is a favorable means of allocation of all these factors of production when you take up insurance policy. Number 13, growth of business competition. Insurance enables the small business unit to compete favorably with the higher ones, so that the higher ones will not dominate them. Insurance company will always come to their aid and help them so that they will not close shop at the end of the day. Number 14, which is very, very important, employment opportunity. Employment opportunity helps the insurance company. Insurance companies contribute a lot in employing our graduates. So we have come to the end of today's class. Thank you so much. I wish you the best of luck in your exam, which comes up in the next few days. Here marks the end of our webinar online class on Principle of Management 2, BAM 121. Good luck and have a nice day.